Hey all, Erin Zen Warrior here. So, as per usual, we're running up to that Monday date, and so I have a topic for you today, of course, to talk about. But first, a reminder, Challenge.playyourway.life. Register now for our 15-minute per day play movement challenge. So the idea is that we get you moving in different creative ways. We help give you ideas into, so you can ask questions to the group and to myself about different ways to spice up what you already do and make it more exciting, or maybe something that actually gives your body a different stimulation. You should know that your body actually adjusts to become efficient at any type of movement that you do. So actually, if you want to get better, fitter, stronger, etc., you are going to have to create variance. So if you're a runner and you run in a straight line a lot, it might be time to start running in a zigzag. Or start running hills if you run on flat, or start, swimming, or depending on what you want for your body. So whilst we're talking about play in the very basic sense, we're also going to look at like different play movements, and I'm going to be posting some cool videos. So make sure you register for that. That's challenge.playyourway.life to register. And there's a Facebook group in that registration that you get forwarded to, and then you'll be able to get all my videos and motivational stuff and things like that, and be part of the chat. Moving on to today's topic, I want to actually talk about going vegan. Not because I think everyone should go vegan. Actually because I think people go vegan and they do it quite dangerously. And I, in my personal opinion, think that that's something we should, if you are looking to indulge in more of a vegetarian vegan lifestyle, you do want to be wary. I'm sorry, my computer's making heaps of noise, and I'm just going to shut that down because people can't stop messaging. So what I was going to say was, if you want to go vegan, I think that's a great thing to aim for. But if you're like fully into eating a lot of meat every day, then going vegan hardcore or going vegan raw would be even worse. Maybe too much of a shock to your body. So I've been vegetarian or vegan now since I was 20, so that's like 21 years. And even I went too hardcore for my body when I went raw vegan in a cold climate. And I was actually discussing this the other day with a friend of mine. We were discussing her raw diet and how now as the weather is changing, and she's raw vegan, how now as the weather is changing, she feels the need to eat warm foods, like her body is calling for that. And it's like, yeah, there's chi in warm food, and this is a cold climate, so there is a necessity to eat some warm. If you are looking at that kind of thing, I recommend 80-20, so 80% raw, 20% cooked, and definitely probably going for that evening meal, or if you're feeling particularly cold, going for that warm meal then. When it comes to going vegan, I recommend first you go vegetarian, and that you still introduce something that's got basically like animal construct in it, so like eggs, dairy, goat's cheese, sheep's cheese. I'm not a huge fan of dairy and I can't eat it, so that's not something that I would put in if I was doing this again, and it was certainly something I had to remove. But I did like to use a lot of sheep and goat's cheese until I worked out that I couldn't even eat those anyway. Eggs can be a funny one for some people who are going vegetarian. Like some people don't like eggs at all, or the protein is difficult. But you definitely want to be introducing something that's got a little bit of sort of, animal DNA, I guess, in it. You're also going to find that as you go from meat eater to vegetarian even, that you're actually going to be quite hungry. If you go meat eater to vegan, you're going to be very hungry and you're going to be hunting around for food. Meat is very heavy. It's a very complex structure. It keeps you full for a long time, and you're so used to that feeling that you kind of have to train yourself out of it. And there are a few cool ways to do this, but you want to be careful. First, you want to just slowly transition your body over about a month, and transition your body slowly over about a month into just being vegetarian. Don't worry about vegan. I would leave it alone. Certainly don't touch raw at that stage. If you then want to go vegan, I would play between vegan and vegetarian for a while. So you want to do, like a few days vegan, add in a little bit of like dairy or eggs again, and then go vegan again. And then slowly spread that time out. So it becomes, 3 or 4 days, then it becomes a week, then it becomes 2 weeks. And you're deliberately refeeding that animal kind of DNA structure back in. The reason for doing this is, as I said, it's more complex than what you're going to get from vegan food. And so your body is going to crave it. And you're pretty much taking it from something that it's, for lack of a better word to use, it's addicted to. And you're going to starve it of that addiction. I don't recommend starving yourself of any addiction and thinking it's going to be fun and it's going to be easy for your body. Generally, the way that, like, even if you look at how someone gives up smoking, quite often they wean themselves off it and then they take it away. Going cold turkey usually results in headaches, energy problems, stomach issues. Like, you're going to get all sorts of effects if you're very, very hooked into eating meat to all of a sudden go vegan. So step by step, meat eater to vegetarian, or slowly cut down the meat to vegetarian, playing between vegetarian and veganism. And it took me several years. And then, like I said, I went into raw vegan and I was living in the middle of London. And actually what happened to me was I had to go back to drinking cow's milk, which was a weird one. And the recommendation at the time was not because there's any nutrition in cow's milk. We can argue about that one till we're blue in the face, but that's not the discussion here. The argument was that my body was craving the olds and that I needed to spend a month basically drinking cow's milk morning and night, like a big pint of it, warmed up, which is super funny because I never drank warm milk before, but I did used to drink a lot of cow's milk. And I did that for a month and my whole body transitioned into a different body. And then they were like, and then you can just ditch it. So please, please, please be careful with yourselves. I totally understand the ethical side of wanting to go vegan, and I certainly understand the health side of wanting to go vegan, which is why I originally chose vegetarian and then vegan myself for me. I do think that there are arguments for and against what is good for anyone, and certainly depending on what's going on with their bodies. So I'm certainly not arguing that vegan is healthier than anything else in this particular video. I am, however, suggesting, that slamming yourself into veganism or slamming yourself into anything and staying there rigidly is not good for you. And I would even call myself these days the bad vegan. I'm probably going to get some serious vegan hate for this one. And that is to say, if I really want something, so if I really want the piece of cake with the cream all over it, and I'm allergic to dairy, or if I really want scrambled eggs, or if I really want to try that piece of cheese, or if it was even a piece of steak that someone had cooked and I wanted to try it, I never have, by the way, but if I wanted to try it, I would allow myself to try that. As I said, I call myself, I don't know what's going on here. As I said, I call myself the bad vegan because I actually don't believe in that rigidity. I totally appreciate people who are, what I would say, more hardcore, and I totally understand why, and I'm not knocking that. All I'm saying is that I think it's good to be flexible. It's good to keep a flexible mind. That may never mean that you ever use it. It may never mean that I do either. It's just about staying open. And it's about, for me, listening to my body and seeing what it needs, and sometimes also being willing to run the experiment. So I hope you got something from this. If you want to comment or like or start a conversation, by all means, throw it in there. If anyone has commented, I will comment down below. If it stimulates more, I'll go from there too. So if you're on YouTube watching this, please give me a like and subscribe. And otherwise, I will see you soon. Don't forget Challenge.playyourway.life to join in on that free challenge that's starting on Monday. Have a great day.